All right. Hello. Good morning or good afternoon. So, welcome to the stream. Today we're gonna do, as usual, 40-minute sprints and 10 or 15-minute breaks in between. It still feels kind of weird because it's 8 a.m. but outside it feels like it's like I don't know, about 6 p.m. It's still pretty dark outside and the winds are wild, and it might be arguably a good day to just hunker down and write. And so that's what we're doing today. I bought this desktop wallpaper called Ropuca's Island, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's this little desktop sticker. It's sold as a game, but really it's just a sticker. It's called an idle game. Apparently that's a genre. And it just sits on the wallpaper. It sits on the desktop. And it's this little frog named Ropuca who cuts grass so that you can earn grass that you can trade for tokens, that you can trade for stickers like upgrades about, how Ropuca looks. Hey! And I turned off the talk function. He or she sometimes will give you little messages like "good job" or "I'm pretty chill," and that's about everything Ropuca does. And she's just sitting there. All right, so let's set up our task board for today. I am gonna do some free writing before I get into the thing. I also have my task light on so that there are certain books that I wanna consult before diving into the project. And whatever it is that you're doing and whatever day or time you're watching this, I hope you take some time to plan out what you're going to do in the next 40 minutes, because that will be really valuable and will keep you focused. So I'll just set up the Pomodoro timer. Make sure that you have your glass of water beside you. You've turned off your phone. You've taken some time to think about what you're going to do. And with that being said, let's start our sprint. There will be no talking during the sprint, so I won't be checking chat. Let me just check that. Yeah, the audio is working. Chillhop is working. I'm gonna increase the volume of Chillhop a little bit. Yeah, that should be fine. And see you at the end of 40 minutes. Let's go. All right, it's our first 40-minute sprint up. Hello, Ilets, if you're here. Hey, Charles, napalit na yung monitor cable. Hindi pa. Actually, I have not. But somehow, so this screen, it's something I bought for 30 euros, secondhand from someone in the office. And its only fault is the monitor cable. When I sort of touch it randomly, it would sometimes not react, but sometimes it would flicker out. So the plug has to be in a certain position, basically. And because it's still working, I have not gotten around to changing it. But yeah, if it fails, I think there's a way to like sort of pinch the what do you call the silver things inside, the prongs, not the prongs for the socket, the one that goes into the monitor. But yeah, so Godspeed, monitor. How's everyone? Christmas is coming. I'm not very thrilled about Christmas. It's been that way for several years, but most especially after, when you have a death in the family, it kind of colors everything a different way. Like remember in Inside Out, where like I think all the joy memories come tinged now with sadness. So it's a little bit of that, but also it's a little bit of the mixed emotions about getting pressured to buy all these things, but also wanting to enjoy the process, but also sort of questioning the basis of the entire holiday, and thinking about whether what you're doing it for, maybe for the kids, but do we really need that? But anyway, not to glum it up this morning, but the sun is out. It's 9 a.m. The sun is finally out, and I think my friend is going to try to go to the gym, and I have been sort of I haven't gone to the gym for like a week, and then when I went back earlier this week, on Monday, I don't know if I'm imagining it, but I was suddenly able to put on, the weights that I used to be able to carry. They seemed a bit lighter, and so I tried to graduate to add, I think, 5 more kilos to what I used to be able to lift. Not really lift. I'm doing the machines, like the shoulder presses and the crunches. And so yeah, that was interesting. I really like it when I see the progress. Although it's been I'm not gonna judge it for being too slow, but it's happening, so it's happening. Yeah. And speaking of Christmas, I've done some early shopping for the things that we plan to do on Christmas. We're gonna spend it at a friend's house. That friend has a kid, so that's who Christmases are for, I believe. And so it was my first time to buy alcohol from the supermarket here. The supermarket is called Dunn's, which is a pretty common surname, I guess, in Ireland. So it's my first time buying alcohol, so I was a little nervous. I was thinking of bringing my passport in case they ask for. There's no doubt that I'm, I have no doubt about my how I look to people, but underage, I know, like in the small possibility that the person at the till will doubt my age, I thought about bringing my passport, but I didn't. I just thought, if if something like that is gonna happen, I'm just gonna suck it up and try to wallow in the rejection of sorts. So yeah, so that's why I was quite nervous, because I wanted to risk it, and it went by uneventfully. So they had these, like, the alcohol, I think, are the most possibly shoplifted items in the grocery, because they're the only things that have the locks on them. Like, you can grab them, but they have these things that would, like, probably trigger the alarm when you leave without paying, or leave without removing it. So yeah, I got a Kahlua and a Smirnoff vanilla, because the plan is to make Black Russian for my friends, because I have a certain memory of Black Russian, because my brother's a professional bartender, and I do remember the one time he made that for me, or for us. He actually added, like, a melted piece of chocolate in the drink, and I'm not gonna be able to replicate that, but I kind of want to make the drink, because I do remember I like the chocolatey taste of the coffee liqueur and the vanilla. So it's 2 parts vodka, 1 part coffee liqueur, and I'm gonna try and get maraschino cherries, which I have been pronouncing as maraschino cherries for the longest time, but I looked it up, and if you want a lean Italian, it's maraschino. And I think they sell those at Tesco, which is another, I think it's a Brit supermarket here. And yeah, so that's the plan. Then I'm probably gonna buy one of the books that I plan to give my godson. The thing is, I was thinking of giving him, so he's 9. I planned on giving him Runaways, which is the Marvel graphic novel comic book created by Brian Vaughan, I think. But I'm not sure it's marketed as 10 to 12 or 10 above. But from I do remember it being a bit more. I read it when I was in college, so teenagers. Yeah, so the issues might be a bit too early. Update dun sa mix, haha, kahit pick lang. Yeah, I'll try. I'm really gonna what do you call it? I'm gonna milk it. The thing. Evil parents. Right, so yeah, so the comic book Runaways, I do remember it being a bit more mature than something my 9-year-old could take. So maybe not that. Maybe I will reserve that for when, like, he becomes a teenager. And so I'm now thinking of giving him Lightfall, because he has the volume 1, his mom said, and I think it's like a D&D fantasy adventure thing that's I'm not familiar with it, but if he had the volume 1, then maybe, I don't know, then maybe I'd buy him the second and third volumes, or follow-ups. So yeah, that's the plan. Then maybe get a haircut because this thing is dragging me down. My hair is dragging me down. It's a reverse Samson situation. So yeah, so that's our first break done. Let's move to our second sprint. Yeah, I hope you're having a relaxed enough time, and feel free to just hang and listen to the music or do the thing that you want to do for the next 40 minutes. Alright, gonna turn up the music a little bit. See you at the end of this. All right, so that's our second sprint, I think, done. I kind of forgot that I had a bunch of notes about the story already because I've been brainstorming. I've been planning the story for years now, I think, and I just sort of forgot that I have all these character notes, and I sort of expected myself to carry everything in my head, but yeah, so I've spent the last sprint sort of trying to absorb everything that I've written before about it. In any case, so Rapuka, which is my little frog on my desktop sticker wallpaper thing, has just cut grass for quite some time now, and she's now up to 3,954. So I'm just gonna grab a few items that I want to add to her little island. I already got her a smaller house. I don't know why this is so cute. I got her some darker colored grass, and I want to buy some more flowers. I don't know how to get that though. Hold on. Maybe I can get her another well, or maybe what is that? Some mystery item. Anyway, let's try and get a few tokens. Right, I now have 5 tokens, which is great. Maybe let's buy something expensive, like a well. Well. There you go. Yeah, let's have a well. Oh, she has a well now. Okay, that was pretty amazing. So, yeah. I've been reading a lot of craft books about screenplays recently, and yeah, I have a bunch of them, and I don't know exactly how helpful they really are. Sometimes I wonder whether I'm just reading the craft books to procrastinate from actual writing. But yeah, so these are some of the books. This is Anatomy of a Story by John Truby. I think it's a bit overwrought, but he does have a lot of great analysis about stuff, and he actually analyzes things to the point of I don't know. On the one hand, it's pretty impressive. On the other hand, like, to a certain extent, it's a bit too much. But it's pretty useful for, like, if you need a sort of skeleton for before you proceed with the actual writing. And then the other thing, both by men, the other book is Essentials of Screenwriting by Richard Walter, and this one is a bit more about the writing habit, but also a lot about dialogue, story assembly, and various other things about writing the actual thing. And then there's this one book that I think I gave away to a friend. It's Sid Field's something about screenwriting. Let me look that up to be precise. Sid Field. The screenplay, I guess it's called. Foundations of Screenwriting. Yeah, that's been mentioned by a lot of other writers as well, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing one more that people in the screenwriting sort of industry have been talking about. But I have too many books now, so it's really at some point you gotta stop reading and start writing. So yeah, the sun's pretty up and bright now, so I'll probably have to get out at some point after the sprints and do some walking, because sayang naman. What's the English of sayang? Is it too bad, or is it I don't know which is it. I remember when I was when we were trying to figure out the English of sayang, one of us, or maybe me, came up with my money, which is ultra specific and not at all what it means. But sayang is like, what a waste. What a waste? It would be a waste if what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the sun. Yeah, it would be a waste. It would be too bad if sayang, it would be a waste if I didn't try and walk today. And I'm also gonna try and carry a bit more, maybe just or try to do more reps than I did last Monday, because that was pretty exciting to me to be able to carry more than I used to be able to. Oh, and one thing, so we were gonna do our Christmas gift exchange, but it's not like the big one, like buying a big gift for each of the attendees. The idea was I think our friend got it from like one of the Instagram reels and we also did it at work before, when I was in back in the Philippines, where we would get these like totally domestic little stuff like sanitary napkins and cotton buds and cotton pads and use those to do the gift exchange, just so that there's something, because it's fun. And ultimately, even if it's super cheap, it's something you will use. But yeah, so she has like these what do you call this? These categories that we need to fill up. So we were gonna choose two, and one of the ones that I chose was something that will make you happy, I think. And so what I did was I bought those. Do you know those small hands in SNL where they, these like tiny hands? So I bought a bunch of those tiny hands, and I'm hoping that it will make people happy. I mean, it can go both ways. I'm not sure if it's really the one, because there's a variety of the small hands where the end of it is like a little rod. So I think that's a bit more manageable. But the one I got is sort of like, it's like almost like a finger puppet. Like you can put the little hand on your finger, and that's the one that you will like it will poke out like this. So I got that one. It feels like it's too small to be confused for a hand, but yeah, we'll see. I got it off an online shop, and I didn't really like measure it or anything, but I hope that people will like it. And so yeah, we're now coming up to our third 40-minute sprint. I really hope that you be making some progress on your stuff, and I'll try to make some progress in mine. And that said, let's get on to our third sprint and see you at the end of this. Alright, that's our third sprint done. I almost did a micro sleep back there. I think I was I'm still a little too sleepy, although I did make some progress with the thing. I had to switch out two characters, but yeah, it will take getting a little. I would have to get used to them being different names now, but I had to do it because I had to have the more useful one, the more capable one closer to the action, because the other character is supposed to come in from was supposed to blindside the rest of the group. Anyway, yeah, we have one more sprint coming up. I am going to stretch a little and open the window, so I'll be AFK. I will leave you a little bit with this view of the inside deck of Spirit City Lo-Fi, and I shall be back in a bit. So, I think I've met my quota of... Oh, hold on. Of spider-free days. I think it's high time for me to be getting a visit from a spider. I was sort of... The first time I saw a spider here, I freaked out a little bit, and I sort of started researching what sort of spider species are predominant in Dublin or in Ireland, and then I got to this news of like there's this spider that appears to be like an invasive species called the fake widow. It's a lot more common in the UK, I think, but it's begun to find its way in Dublin. And they have all these pictures of like the fake widow doesn't look like this other spider, but like I can't tell. I don't know. they sort of look the same to me, and there's absolutely nothing that can make me understand what a fake widow spider is versus like a regular harmless spider. And so what I do, I think I've done this 5 times now, is that I'd find a spider, I would trap it in a jar, and then move them out to the patio. But for at least 3 of the spiders that I've found, I just let them have their way. They're not really doing anything to me. I would do that if it's a spider that's like on the floor for some reason, or in the path, or on the way. But if it's like in a corner or like in the bathroom, I just leave it be. And I'm talking about the chunky spiders, right? So we also get those like house spiders that have these incredibly long but thin legs. I don't care about those. Those are fine to be around. They're not scary at all to me. It's the chunky ones that are like, I wonder what's inside all the chunkiness of the spider. They're not hairy. They're like pretty small, but it's still unnerving because in the Philippines, we get those we do get those jumping spiders, which are brown, light brown and black, and they sort of disappear, but they're actually jumping really fast. But they're not. I guess it's a bit more unnerving, but I think I'm just more used to the Philippine spiders, I guess. But yeah, so it's been a while. It's been several weeks or maybe a month since I've last seen a spider around here. What does free write mean? Tama ba yung pagkakabasa ko kanina? Yeah, so free writing is like just basically dumping everything in my brain on paper, because that sometimes gets mixed up with when I'm trying to write new things, and then I'm thinking about ranting about something, then somehow that rant makes its way into the story, which is not always ideal, but it can be useful sometimes. But it's just a little better if I've had everything out somewhere, and then I can start like doing the real writing with a blanker slate. And one of the things that I realized when I free write is it's much better for me to start with a prompt, any prompt. And I have a prompt today from my therapist, who 2 weeks ago tried to get me to like figure out why I'm sort of scared to start this new project. So that's what I free wrote about earlier today. But let's see. Oh, the reason I prefer a prompt when I free write is because if I don't, it will default to, how the brain has this default mode, like network, and it's really just it does tend toward the negative, because humans are created to evolved to look at the bad signals in the world and try to worry about it and figure it out and try to control it. And so those are the things that come up, and I don't really like that, because it really sort of elbows out all the other good stuff that I want to be writing about. So yeah, that's basically what free writing is. Thanks for asking. So we're down to our last 40-minute sprint. I'd call it progress, I guess. But yeah, it's been pretty tough going. I think the thing that I discovered while I was free writing was that I'm very intimidated by the project, because there are a lot of things that I wanted to say, a lot of characters that I want to be playing with each other. But the other thing is, I really want to be aware that I'm not preaching, or I'm not sort of imposing my beliefs into the story, because I can feel when writers do that to me in books. So I don't want to give that experience to my readers. I definitely don't want to be telling people what to think. I just want to present situations and allow people to make their own conclusions by themselves. And if they happen to go by the same conclusion that I did, then that means I did my job well. And if they didn't, then it's just part of the territory. There's this whole industry of literary analysis where people can like interpret any text any way they want. Mukhang kailangan ko rin ng ganyang realization writings. Yeah, right. I mean, definitely this is the same sort of concept with journaling. When people journal, they like follow a certain prompt, or they try to work something out through words, and you have to find your own process, whether that's kasi magkaiba rin yung like handwriting stuff versus being on the computer, pero it's just it just has less friction for me to do it on the computer, but I would love to be handwriting things. Anyway, we're on our last sprint. I hope you are also well on your way to making progress, or at least ending this session. And oops, sorry about that. Let's go to the task board. And before we end, I'm gonna show you some of the earlier scenes that I have for like the template here in the stream, because I've been playing around with them recently. Yeah, so see you at the end of this. Let's go. All right, that's our last sprint for today. That was pretty productive and actually a bit tiring. I feel like I'm so intimidated by the story that I want to write, which is tough because I'm the only one who can sort of see the see the bigger picture, but I feel so intimidated by it. And I don't know how to make it more manageable for myself, but I'll figure it out. Yay! Yeah, yay! It's crazy. Sorry, I didn't see your question. No, that's fine. I was trying to remember the word for crash out. So crash out is the word that I'm looking for, which is like, flipping tables and getting so angry about something specific. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay, let me do a break chat. Yeah, there you go. And let me change the animation for my avatar. Maybe she's looking outside taking photos. Yeah, that's cute. So when does the holiday vacation start? Has it already started? It's not really a thing in Ireland, I don't think. Although people do take their vacations weeks and weeks at a time. So not a lot of people are showing up to work, but not because it's a mandated holiday, I don't think. Or I think we have Boxing Day as a holiday, which is when people go to box. That's not true at all. It's when people go to, I don't know, box up the things, box up the gifts that they didn't like from Christmas Day. I don't know if that's accurate, but yeah, it's the first time I've heard of a Boxing Day. Maybe just a couple of years back. It's totally unheard of in the Philippines. So yeah, my plans for today are basically try and go to the gym, have lunch first, go to the gym, and then finish up with some more writing maybe. But most importantly, I will try and make some more progress in Silksong. So I'm already, did you know that just yesterday, I think they announced that Team Cherry suddenly will be releasing a DLC, downloadable content for Hollow Knight Silksong. It's this entirely new territory. It's called Sea of Sorrows, I think, and it's gonna be part of Silksong. It's gonna be free, which is amazing. Silksong is only 20 euros, and I don't know how much that is in Philippine pesos, but it's one of the cheaper games actually. And I'm really, really happy because, you know, Team Cherry has had the habit of not being communicative when it comes to their gaming news and updates. But this time, they totally surprised everyone by saying it's going to release in 2026. Where, you know, not everyone is finished with Silksong like me. Yeah, there's a new update. It's totally, I don't know, it's not totally out of the blue. I think they did say something about it in the Bloomberg interview that they had, which is pretty cool. But I think a lot of the assets that we saw in the Silksong trailer will come up in that we didn't see in the current iteration of the game. We'll begin to see that in the new DLC. So where I'm at in Silksong is I have been able finally to conquer the Coral Tower. So I'm pretty bad in gaming in general, but I sort of hacked away at it every day for like a couple of fights, not even an hour every day, like a few attempts every day. And the thing with the Coral Tower is it's actually an optional area, but I just really wanted to see how the art looked like toward the end, because there was going to be this grand sort of approach to the final boss that I really wanted to see. And if I had to do all these gauntlets just to get there, I'll do it. And so what the Coral Tower actually is it's gauntlet after gauntlet. So it's like a boss rush, mini boss rush. Oh, it's not a boss rush. It's like the Colosseum in the Colosseum of Fools in Hollow Knight, which also took me like several months or weeks to finish or to defeat. But this time there's like, I think if I remember correctly, there's 1, 2, 3 gauntlets that you need to finish. And then there's a shortcut that you can do at that point, so that when you get to when you finish the 3, you don't have to do them again. But then if you lose on the second or the third, you'll have to do the 3 gauntlets again. Then after those 3 gauntlets, there's another gauntlet. So there are a total of 4 gauntlets. A gauntlet is like, 10 to 15 or up to 20 enemies in an enclosed space or arena. And then after the 4th gauntlet, that's when you go up to the final boss. And the final boss is not even super hard. I defeated him after 2 tries, and I feel that's a bit of really great storytelling detail, because you get to compare it with this other boss where there are only like a couple of marshals, a couple of like a couple of like mini bosses, maybe 4 or 5 that you need to defeat. But then the main boss will already come fight you in the same arena. And the difference between the two bosses, as in real life, is that this boss, the one that the entire fight happens in the same arena, is such a difficult but also elegant, majestic kind of boss. So it's a kind of boss where the boss is willing to do what the other sort of soldiers can do. So a boss that is truly capable of also fighting, and that boss is like an opera singer who also fights. So like it's really cool. And then the boss where I have to go through 4 gauntlets to get to the final boss, and then the boss is like super easy to fight. It's sort of reflective of like the more traditional, politicians or like bosses who are not super smart or not super capable, but do surround themselves with like truly capable people, either yes men or truly capable advisors, or people who are much smarter and much stronger than them. So I really like the contrast between the two. The boss that's gated by all these gauntlets are the boss is like super bulky and chunky, but the moveset is so predictable, and there's a lot of room to maneuver, and it's really, really obvious because the opera singer boss, the capable boss in the other area, she has like several movesets, and then there are a couple of phases in the fight, and she's really, really fast, and even the mini bosses are quite good. So by the time that you get to her, the chances are that your life your HP is pretty down, and then you just have to throw all your tools at her because I sort of tend to panic when like my HP goes down to half, and so that's what the tools are for, because they deal a lot more damage than usual, but they also run out, so that's the downside of it. Gotta catch up with the game. I know that's the bosses are Act 3 bosses, so I'm really, really close to the end, to the final boss, and I don't want it to end. I really don't. I don't know what I'll do after finishing Silksong. Maybe I'll play Silksong again, but then it's so hard. It's super hard, and the only reason that I kept up with it was because I really loved the 2D hand-drawn art. It's so cute. It's super cute. It's how I sort of grew up. Even here in the template of the stream, you see how I like love those black borders. So that's how the Ari Gibson draws his characters. It's like comics, there's a black border. I don't know why that sort of appeals to me a lot. Side quests, so the side quests in Hollow Knight are also have a storytelling component. So how a lot of some games are bloated because they have several side quests that have nothing to do with the main story or are just tangentially related to the main quest. But here, the more quests so Hornet is a character, unlike the main character in the Hollow Knight who is voiceless. Hornet has her own personality, and she has this really dominant sort of a dominant characteristic. So she's very snobby and arrogant, and throughout the game, the more that you do side quests, the more Hornet realizes that she's part of a community, and another option opens up for her once you help, you know, these people and listen their these bugs and listen to their stories. And then if you do enough side quests, then you have another option to do at the end when you fight the main boss of act 1, I think. So yeah, I can talk about Silksong all day, but we do not have all day. Still have a lot to do. That is true. And yeah, I hope you have, I don't know, I hope you have time to like try and play Silksong, or maybe watch other people play Silksong, because I think you like the art. Well, I do like the art, so hopefully you also like the art. But yeah, I'm gonna have lunch. I'm sort of hungry now and very drained, and I really appreciate you and even the lurkers for watching, and well, not really watching, but like working alongside me. And I hope to see you the next stream. I plan to have another one this Friday, and hopefully that will happen. So thank you again. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Let me see. Let's take out this Pomodoro thing. All right, and I'll pet the dog. There you go. All right, that's it. Rest. Time to rest muna for you. Thank you. Happy lunch to you. Good evening then, and thank you for dropping by and staying with me. All right. Bye.